And for WE, the player you are calling on to make improvements quickly to push the ceiling of the squad, Karis in a very big spot here with the dash punishment that Talia can bring through here. So collapsing though on these grubs. Monkey and Vampire always leading the charge here for WE, setting up the front line as Monkey will spine away the first one. Dread's not going to land from Vampire into the Chains of Corruption. Tien gets the Crescent Guard down though, flashes out of the seismic shove. Ton of ultimates flying off the board here, but WE standing tall in the river. Will be able to pick up all 3 grubs.
Okay. I mean, we traded 2 ultimates there. We were able to get the flash out of Tien as well as his Crescent Guard. And hey, 3 grubs, not a bad trade there. Great job from WE, and I love the setup. They had Karis right next to the objective. Xiaohu was nowhere nearby. And so they'll find themselves the first objective of the game. 9 minutes in right now. A pretty decent advantage that we see here for WE. Group ascent here for split number 3. This could be a matchup in this double round robin that ends up determining seeding going into those play-in stages. So right now it's going to be an objective started here for Weibo, a teleport from Cube inside of the pit.
Tien, oh, that got way too close. 22 HP, doesn't have Crescent Guard, seismic shove into the depth charge. Down goes Tien, but Crisp gonna be traded out as well. The curtain call gonna come out. Shots hitting here from Light. It's Xiao who has to use the Spirit Rush to get out of dodge. Dragon costly there for Weibo. The front line coming across from Cube. When you draft a Viego comp, you play for him as that win con. You're seeing it now in this top side as Cube sets up the Death Rush into the Heartbreaker. The stun's layering so well again from WE. Man, they are definitely trying to shake off whatever woes they had up against IG in this first game. Burning Flash just to survive. Weibo asleep at the wheel right now in this opening bout.
And they gave the turret over to Monkey. He has a 1,500 gold lead.
Game 1. I mean, Tunneler and Kraken Slayer done at this point. It's just so hard to match the raw damage he brings. And his trusty duo Vampires finding more engages here. Does need a charm here from Xiaohu. Tien going to go in for the engage without his Crescent Guard. They're trying to set up the curtain call for Light, but it does fall short. Vampire gets away before the 3rd and 4th shot come across. And now we see a cancel on the crash down Crisp onto Cube. He's holding his might against 3 members of Weibo on the top of the screen. Finally has to flash away, gets back under his turret, doesn't miss the big time slam, so Light gets a clutch kill. But where is Tien? My guy is homeless in the enemy jungle, just trying to buy time, but Vampire goes in audaciously on his own, so it ends up being a trade. Does get Monkey his reset, steps away from the charm, but Taeyun just standing on an equalizer, my friend. Burns down to breathe, and everything's starting to fall apart, but Monkey can he rescue it? No! 1 auto short from killing off Crisp. That's 4 kills back for Weibo Gaming.
Being an even trade, all things considered. Now we're back to live.
And Tien's just caught in front of Monkey, but the Lily Flourish does land despite the Shroud. Monkey goes down to start off the fight. That is paramount for WBG's win. Chris going to trade himself out in front of Karis and Taeyun. Can they win the fight with these low health bars? Knocking down Cube first. Deadly Flourish going to land from Light once more. The body block of the zombie gets Vampire just enough space to escape. Charm going to land. Taeyun immediately going to cleanse that one back out of the size. Flicks back Xiaohu into the piercing arrow of Taeyun. The 2 carries for WE, rescuing them from another fruitfulest fight.
Weibo are okay though with this trade. It is a numbers advantage here for WE, but they're getting kills onto Monkey. They're forcing summoner spells off of WE, and they're slowing the game down.
Karis, Flash, Deadly Flourish just goes wide. Light still hunting with those, trying to get that 4th shot, gets the Q, hits a crit shot, knockup lands. Light is dancing on WE, wheeling Weibo back into it.
Oh, we're not done. Monkey's stepping forward, brother.
We're not done at all. Monkey's caught. The Heartbreaker won't save him. Back-to-back respawns into death for Monkey.
So now Weibo get multiple kills in trade. They get Karis' flash as well as the cleanse from Taeyun and the 2nd dragon of the game. The early game that we were so happy to see from WE join in. Again, stuck in the forever fight. We got to keep going.
Forever fight, no way out. Here comes the Silent Ultimate. They do get the flick back onto Tien, pops the Crescent Guard. He's going to try and finish off the Rift Herald. Taeyun has to flash away from it. Xiaohu, Charm coming his way. Now everyone's stuck in the meat grinder. Crisp goes down first. Curtain call off to the side. Light is protected, firing away these shots. Hits the 3rd one to find the trade kill onto Vampire. And Tien gets away with the Rift Herald.
Should be getting closer and closer to Monkey finishing his 2nd item here. But like you had mentioned before this fight, Light is starting to pick up more and more gold. I love being a fair weather fan of Light, man.
Sure that Weibo will be spotted trying to make their way forward. Cube delaying the inevitable as Chris charges forward with that ghost of the unsealed spellbook. Keep an eye on Xiaohu on the top side as Chris immediately goes for the snap engage. Layers the equalizer beautifully. Taeyun can't move. He's stun locked and everything falls in place for Weibo. That's the snap engage. That's why you bring Chris back to Weibo to find fight wins.
We had questions as to how Chris was going to look on this roster. I think right now we could say pretty damn good. This will be a huge flux of gold going over to Weibo, where WE, they can't staunch the bleeding and they cannot slow this game down in a meaningful fashion.
And this is the spot that Weibo have found a lot of their success. You talked about it with long lanes. You see more of these turrets come down. You have death brushes. Weibo seeming like they're willing to give this soul point Drake here, or Chris is going to try and lead them through blind once more. This time Vampire's going to interrupt them into the seismic shove. They're holding Chris in place, so he can't even get a crash down off. Boom goes the dynamite, down goes Chris. Dragon picked up by Monkey. Xiaohu tries to weave his way back in, but doesn't land the charm. Herd call's going to come out here, but WE have no reason to fight. They just need to get out and get away from Weibo as they cut down one of their major win cons.
A ton of targets if he just lands a charm or lands a max range Q up against their opponents. They're looking.
Xiaohu, he dashes right into Vampire. Spring Tiger served up easily on a platter. Xiaohu scratching his head goes down, and now Light's getting knocked up by the Scion. Has to flash himself back out. Crisp as well trying to get away from dodge. Tien, his crescent guard is down, and next will be his health bar. Taeyun picks up the kill. Weibo Xiaohu just gifted WE a Baron.
Oh, Monkey's going for more. Monkey wants it!
Flash, dash, kill! 1,000 gold shutdown, gets the reset. Monkey Mania on the rift. Can he get out from the turret? Yes! Back over the wall. No! Breathe will cut him down, but Monkey has cut Weibo down to size.
Onto Monkey means that Xiaohu, unaware, gets caught, and that opens up an area for WE to finally fight back in this game.
I need to see this replay because you called it.
Getting these turrets. It's going to turn into a dragon here for WE. Is this the critical moment? Is something that we'll have to come back and visit as this game goes forward. Is this the moment we get to see WE turn the corner and get back into an advantageous position where they can potentially win out on this game? Or is it merely a stopgap measure here for Weibo? Finally, more turrets getting traded as WE start to knock on some of these structures.
One thing you were definitely looking out for this now gifts WE is open the base of Weibo. At some point, we've got to make a play here to stop the bleeding. Karis still makes the first call at the Weaver's Wall, gets the seismic stuff, flip back. Karis serves up Tien for all of WE, but they can't get the kills over just yet. Xiaohu tries to dash to the back line, gets the charm onto Karis, but Chris dies first, and now the stuns start layering. The Talia canceling out all the dashes. Karis canceling out hopes and dreams of Weibo as Monkey flies on in, but it's cool and calm home. He's got the GA, and he's covered by the rest of WE, as they will not drop a single member, and they sure as hell won't drop game one.
There it is. That's a triple kill, and that's going to be the end of the game. WE, they were suffering. They took too many fights in the middle of it and somehow wrestle the victory back from Weibo.
A great comeback, a torrential run to end this game at 30 minutes. But boy, a game that definitely doesn't inspire confidence for either one of our squads, but still nonetheless, a 1-0 lead for Team WE.
Surprisingly enough, despite some of the mistakes,
these were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.